So continuing with first unit of the ninth class, that is matter in our surrounding. We are doing now textbook questions. Question number one, you have to identify the matter out of the following. You are given chair, air, then you have love, smell, hate, almonds, thought, cold, drink, smell of perfume. So out of chair, chair is a matter, air is a matter, love is not a matter, smell not matter, hate not matter. So out of the above list we are thought not matter, almond they are matter, cold not matter, cold drink it is matter. Then we smell of perfume, it is spread through air, it is also under matter. Then we have give reasons for following observation. The smell of hot sizzling food comes to us at a larger distance, but smell of cold food does not come to us so easily. The reason for that is the hot food, the vapors from hot food, they are diffusing out and they are moving with the air and are coming to us at a very fast pace, but the vapors from cold food they are not diffusing out so easily, so we have to go nearer to the cold food to smell that. Then we have a diver is able to cut water and is able to float on the water. It is mainly because of the weak intermolecular forces in the water molecules. The diver is able to cut through the water and is able to float over the water. Now, what are the characteristics of particles of matter? The characteristics of particles of matter is the particles of matter they are having vacant spaces among themselves. Of course, they are least in case of the solid, they are moderate in case of the liquid, and are maximum in case of the gases. Then particles of the matter they are always in a motion, they keep on moving. The movement in case of the solid that is not so visible, but in case of the liquid and gases it is visible. Then the particles, the attractive forces between the particles are there. In solid they are the strong forces between the particles. In the liquids they have moderate forces, while in gases we have the definite very weak forces among their molecules. Then we have the next, what do you know about rigidity of solids? Solids are rigid, and it is the property by virtue of which a substance resists its movement by applying force. So solid have maximum rigidity. They do not change their state so easily as gases and liquid they change. Then we have compressibility. Compressibility is that property by which the molecules of a matter they come closer to each other, and the physical state that changes from gas to liquid, liquid to solid. Then we have fluidity. Fluidity, it is that property of the matter by virtue of which it flows. It is actually the property of liquid by virtue of which it flows, and it depends from on the intermolecular forces as well as the forces of cohesion as well as forces of adhesion. Forces of cohesion, these are the forces which are operating in the molecules of a liquid. Then forces of adhesion, these are the forces which are operating between the molecule of the liquid and the surface particles of that surface on which liquid is flowing. Then we have filling of gas container. When a gas is dropped in a container, the molecules they occupy whole of the space. It is mainly because of the weak intermolecular forces among the gas molecules, due to which they are able to occupy whole of the space, whole of the vessel which is provided to them. Then shape of the liquid molecule, they don't have any definite shape. It is because of the fact intermolecular forces, they can occupy any container, they can acquire any shape. Then kinetic energy of the liquid molecules is moderate, that of gaseous molecules that is maximum, and in case of the solid molecule it is least. Then we have next question, a gas fills completely the given space. It is mainly because of the weak intermolecular forces among the gas molecule. A gas exerts pressure on the walls of container. it is very much natural. When gas is closed in a container, it will, the molecules are energized, they are having kinetic energy. So whenever they move, they will definitely strike against the walls of the container, and the force per unit volume of the wall of the container exerted by the gas molecule, that will become the pressure of the gas. Then we have a wooden table should be called as a solid. Yes, wooden table, it should be called as solid because it has definite shape, mass and volume. That's why it is called as the solid. Then we have liquid, generally have low density as compared to solid, because we know density is equal to mass upon volume. That's why the volume of the liquid is more as compared to the volume of the solids. That's why density of the liquid, that is less than that of the solid. Solid have maximum densities. Then we have the question, convert 300 Kelvin into centigrade temperature. We know T Kelvin, that is equal to 273 plus T degree centigrade. So it is 300 Kelvin, it will be equal to 273 plus T degree centigrade, and T degree centigrade will be now equal to 300 minus 273, you will be having 27 degrees centigrade. So simply you subtract 273 from the Kelvin temperature, you will get the centigrade temperature. Then convert 573, second is 573 Kelvin to centigrade temperature. So 573 minus 273, it is 300 degrees centigrade. So in this manner the conversions can be done. Then what is the physical state of water at 25 degrees centigrade? It is liquid. Then he says, and at 373 Kelvin, it is liquid at 25 degrees centigrade, and it is gas at 373. 373 Kelvin or 100 degrees centigrade can be called as the temperature. Then for any substance, why does the temperature remain constant during the change of the state? When state of the system is changing, the temperature does not change at all, because the whatever heat supplied to that solid or the liquid to change the state, that heat is used up in overcoming the intermolecular forces. This heat is called as latent heat of fusion in case of the solids, and in case of the liquids it is called as latent heat of vaporization. So this heat does not appear as a temperature. That's why temperature remains constant during this state. So just a method to liquefy atmospheric gases. Atmospheric gases can be liquefied under high pressure and low temperature. When high pressure will be applied on the gas, it will tend to come, molecules will tend to come closer to each other, and the volume of the gas, that will decrease, and ultimately the liquid molecule, they will start developing a more strong attractive force between their molecules, and it will acquire a liquid state. Why does a desert cooler cool better on a hot dry season? Because on a hot dry season, due to increase in temperature, the less humidity is there in the air, and evaporation of water, that takes place at faster rate. That's why more cooling is caused. Evaporation causes cooling, we know. Then why does our palm feel cold when we put some acetone or petrol or perfume on it? When we put acetone, perfume on our palm, then it evaporates from the palm by taking some energy from the palm, and when energy is lost by the palm, it will definitely evaporate the acetone or petrol molecule from our surface, and evaporation causes cooling, due to which our palm feels coldness. Then we have why we are able to sip hot tea from a saucer as compared to the cup. It is because of the more surface area of the saucer, and the escaping tendency of the vapors from the tea, that increases and it gets cooled down. So we are able to sip tea from the saucer as compared to a cup. Then we have what type of cloth should we wear in case of the summer season. In summer season we should wear cotton cloths because they absorb sweat, and then sweat gets evaporated from the cotton cloths and it causes cooling and we feel pleasurable, feel pleased. Now, convert the following temperature into Celsius scale. We have to convert 300 Kelvin into centigrade scale. So 300 minus 273, you will be getting 27 degrees centigrade. Similarly, 573 Kelvin into centigrade minus 273, you will be getting 300 degrees centigrade. Then convert 25 degrees centigrade into Kelvin temperature. Then we have T Kelvin 273 plus centigrade temperature 25 degrees centigrade. So it will be 298 Kelvin. Similarly, it says convert 373 degrees centigrade into Kelvin temperature. So C 373 can be converted into Kelvin temperature. 273 plus 373 will be 646 Kelvin. So in this manner we can do these conversion. Give the reason. Naphthalene balls disappear from the cloths after some time. It is because of the sublimizable property of naphthalene. It sublimizes by taking some energy from the atmosphere and goes out of the cloth in the form of vapors. Then we have why we get smell of perfume sitting several miles away from its place. Then perfume vapor, they diffuse with the air and they reach up to our place. That's why we get smell due to diffusion of the perfume molecules along with air. Then arrange the following substances in increasing order of forces of attraction between their particles: water, sugar and oxygen. So we have the sugar, it has the strongest intermolecular forces due to which it is solid. Then we have the water, which have the moderate intermolecular forces in between gas and liquid. And in case of oxygen, these are weak van der Waals forces, so it has the weakest intermolecular forces. Now, what is the physical state of water at 25 degrees centigrade? We say it is in the liquid state. Up to 100 degrees centigrade, it will remain in the liquid state 0 to 100. At 0 degrees centigrade, it becomes solid, and at 373 Kelvin or 200 degrees centigrade, it will change into the vapor or gaseous state. Then at 100 degrees centigrade, it will be as a steam or in the gaseous state. Now give two reasons to justify that water at room temperature is a liquid. The reason is at room temperature water is liquid because attractive forces between the molecules of water, they are not so strong as are present in case of the ice. The hydrogen bonds which are present in water molecule, they are partially broken and partially formed. That's why it is in the liquid state, not in the solid, neither it is in the gaseous state where there is no hydrogen bonding at all. Why ice at 273 Kelvin is more effective in cooling than water at the same temperature? In ice 273, ice at 273 is more effective because because ice has less energy as compared to water at 273 Kelvin. That's why ice causes more cooling as compared to water at 273 Kelvin and require latent heat of fusion for melting. What produces more severe burns, boiling water or steam? Steam produces more severe burns as compared to boiling water. The reason for this is steam molecules, they have more energy as compared to the water molecules. That's why the steam, it causes more damage as compared to the water in the at the same temperature. Then what do you mean by fusion? It is the phenomenon of conversion of solid into liquid. Vaporization, conversion of liquid into vapors. Sublimation, conversion of solid directly into the vapors. Then we have the solidification, conversion of the liquid, you can say, into solid. That is called as solidification. So this is all about the textbook question. Then we come to some other question. Now give two characteristics of the matter. You can say matter occupies space, possesses mass and it works when it has some extra energy. Now, what is matter? We have already defined and give three states of matter. We know solid, liquid, and gas. Define solid. The solid is the state of matter which has definite mass, shape, and volume. Intermolecular forces are strongest in the particles. Define liquid. It is the homogeneous state of the matter which has definite mass and volume, but no definite shape. What is gas? Gas is that state of matter which has definite mass only, definite mass, it has no definite volume and no definite shape. What are fluids? The substances which can flow are called as the fluids, for example, liquids and gases. Give two main characteristics to differentiate between liquids, three states of the matter. Number one, fluidity, which is a property of liquid. Number two is the compressibility, which is more seen in case of the gases. It is very less in case of the liquid and least in case of the solid. Why does gas exert pressure? It is due to the bombardment by the gas molecules on the walls of container. The force per unit area exerted by gas molecules on the walls of container, it is called as pressure. How gases can be liquefied? They can be liquefied by applying high pressure on the surface of the container in which gases are kept. Then we have defined what is condensation or liquefaction. It is change of vapors or gas into the liquid by applying high pressure on its surface. Now, what are the two factors which are responsible for interconversion of matter? They are temperature and pressure. These are the thermodynamic parameters which can change the state of the matter. While light and sound, they are not considered as matter, because light and sound, they do not possess mass. That's why they are not considered as a matter. Then we have give two methods by which gas can be changed into liquid: by decreasing temperature and by increasing pressure on the gas. Name the term used for gas which is directly formed from a solid. It is sublimation. Then define latent heat of fusion. We have already defined it. Latent heat of vaporization. We have defined these two properties. Why evaporation causes cooling? We have explained it. When molecule evaporate from any surface, they take some energy from the surface, and this causes cooling, and the loss of heat from the surface, and that decreases its temperature, which causes cooling. Why rubber band can change its shape? Is it a solid? Rubber band is a solid because it changes its shape under the force and returns to the original state when the applied forces or deforming forces, they are off. Then why should we wear cotton cloths in summer? We have already explained this question. We have defined what is the difference between gas and vapor. Gas is a substance which exists in the gaseous state at a temperature and equal or more than the boiling point of the liquid state. Oxygen is a gas, hydrogen is a gas, nitrogen is also a gas. So vapors, they are produced at boiling point from a liquid. Now, why does a gas fill the container completely? It is due to empty spaces. We have already done this question. Then what is the difference between boiling and evaporation? Boiling of the liquid takes place from the surface. Boiling of the liquid takes place from the bulk. Vapors are produced from the bulk and they escape out from the liquid surface. While in evaporation, vapors are produced at the surface. In boiling, vapors produced, they have more energy as compared to the vapor produced by evaporation. It takes place throughout the mass of the liquid. It is a fast process. Boiling is a fast process. Evaporation is a slow process, and it takes place throughout the mass of the liquid, but it takes place only at the surface of the liquid. Then we have to take the next question. State what is observed when iodine is heated in a test tube. We know iodine is a sublimizable compound, so when iodine will be heated in a test tube, we will be finding the vapors of iodine escaping out of the test tube. Why do gases have neither definite shape nor definite volume? because their intermolecular forces are weak, due to which they get easily adjusted in the body of the container. And it may possess different shape and they will adjust in all the direction. That's why they don't possess the definite shape, and molecules possess high kinetic energy. So this reduces the chances of the gases to acquire definite change. Name the phenomenon which causes the following changes when wax changes into liquid in the hot sun. It is the phenomena of changing solid into liquid, disappearance of naphthalene ball, it is sublimation. First process, that is your fusion, so conversion of solid into liquid, then water evaporating from the surface of the lake or the sea, that is called as evaporation. Then solidification is the formation of snow, water changing into a solid form of water. Then we have give main postulates of kinetic theory of gases. These postulates of kinetic theory of gases, they are all the gases, they are made of extremely small particles which are called as molecules. The volume of the gas molecule is negligible as compared to total volume of the gas. टोटल वॉल्यूम के कंपैरिजन में मॉलिक्यूल्स के कोई औकात नहीं है, उनका कोई वॉल्यूम नहीं होता. Then molecules of the gas, they are in continuous zigzag motion throughout the walls of container, throughout the body of the container. And fourth point, the molecule, they collide against themselves as well as with the walls of container, but their collisions are inelastic. They are elastic in nature because there is no loss of energy taking place during their collision among themselves or with the walls of container. So gas does not come at rest. The forces of attraction between the gaseous molecules, they are negligible as compared to the molecules of the liquid or solids. So they can acquire any given space to them. The kinetic energy of the gas molecule, that is directly proportional to the temperature of the gas. There is negligible effect of the gravity on the gas molecules. The molecules, they are always in a state of rapid motion. And so these are the characteristics of the kinetic theory, the postulates. Then what are the characteristics of the different states of matter? We have done this. Solid, they have definite characteristic, liquid and gaseous state. Then we discuss the characteristics in tabulated form between solid, liquid and gas. First of all, we discuss the particles, packing of the particles. In case of the solid, they are more closely packed. In case of the liquid, they are slight away from each other. They are less closely packed. In case of the gases, they are weakly close to each other. They are far away from each other. Energy of the particle. Particle have least energy in case of the solid. They have moderate energy in case of the liquid, and in case of the gases, they have maximum energy. Then shape. Solid have definite shape, liquid no definite shape, gas no definite shape. Volume, solid have definite volume, liquid have definite volume, gases do not. Density, solid have high density, liquids have moderate density, and then gases have least density. Compressibility, maximum in case of gases, then we have moderate in case of liquid, and in case of the solid it is not possible or it is very low. Number of free surface, any number in solid. Then in case of the liquid only one, and in case of the gases no free surface. Then we have property rigidity. Solids are highly rigid, liquids they are less, and the gases they are not rigid at all. Fluidity, it is maximum shown by the gases, and then we have liquid and do not show, so solids do not show fluidity. Vacant space, they are maximum in case of the gases, they are moderate in case of the liquids, and least in case of the solids. Thermal expansion, very low in case of the solid, it is more than solids, and maximum in case of the gases. Attractive force between the particle, it is very large in case of the solid, moderate in case of the liquids, and negligible in case of the gases. How will you explain three states of the matter on the basis of kinetic model? In solid, particles are closely packed and there are large attractive forces between their particles. Therefore, particles have low kinetic energy and cannot move from one place to another place. they have only vibratory motion which will be only their allotted position. Wood, rock, copper, iron, then cement, stone, they have the solid state. Then we have in liquid, they have higher kinetic energy and distances between particles are more. That's why the particles can move in this case, although movement is less than the gases, but it is more than the solids, and they can change their positions. Hence liquid can take the shape of the container in which they are put, but the volume of the liquid remain fixed. It does not change at all. It is due to a strong intermolecular force. Alcohol, milk, benzene, kerosene oil, petrol, they are the liquids. Then we have gaseous state of the matter. Gaseous state of the matter, they have high kinetic energy, so molecules have maximum movement due to high kinetic energy. The forces of attraction between the gas molecules, they are weakest. Therefore in all the gases, molecules can move randomly and occupy whole of the available space, hence they do not have definite volume and size. Then mention the factors affecting the evaporation. What are the factors which affect evaporation of the liquid? Number one, it is the surface area of the liquid. If surface area is more, then molecule will find more exposure, the more molecule will be changing into vapor from the surface of the liquid. Second is temperature of the liquid. If temperature of the liquid is high, we will observe more evaporation, because kinetic energy of the surface molecule will increase more easily and they will escape as vapor. Then we have intermolecular force in the liquid molecule. They should be weak. If they are stronger, then evaporation or boiling, that will be less. Decrease in humidity, the moisture or surroundings should not be humid, otherwise the vapor forming capacity of the liquid, that will decrease, evaporation will be less. Then increase in wind speed. If the wind is blowing at the surface of the liquid, it will take away the vapor which are formed at the surface of the liquid, and surface will become free. More vapors will be produced by the liquid. Then what is sublimation? We have already defined. Solid directly changing into the gaseous state, that is sublimation. Then complete the following with suitable word. There are how many states of matter? We are having 3 states of the matter. Then we have the in gases there are dash vacant spaces, more maximum vacant spaces in the gas molecules. Gases change into liquid on decreasing temperature and increasing pressure. Liquids have high free surface, one free surface. Solid have the many free surfaces. Gas have no free surface. Water at 25 degrees centigrade exists as a liquid. Dry ice is a solid carbon dioxide. Solid carbon dioxide is known as dry ice. It appears like ice, but it does not wet your a piece of cloth kept on it, or if we keep a cube of the solid ice on our hand, it will not wet our hand. It will sublimize from our hand. Molecules of the solids are closely packed. This is the filling, closely packed. Then we have liquid state is that state where between the solid and gaseous state. So these are the small questions. Then gases show the property of diffusion, whether it is true or false. It is true. Gases have maximum capability of diffuse. Liquids have only one free surface. It is again true. Gases have any number of free surfaces. It is wrong. Solids have any number of free surfaces. Gas and vapors are always same. No, they are different. It is false. Intermolecular forces in case of solids, they are maximum. It is true. Intermolecular forces in case of the liquid, they are minimum. It is wrong. It is minimum in case of the gases. There are large vacant spaces in the molecules of a gas. It is true. The freezing point of water is 0 degrees centigrade. Is it true? The decrease in pressure lowers the boiling point of the liquid. It is decrease in pressure will lower the boiling point of the liquid. It is true. Then freezing point of water is 0 degrees centigrade. Boiling of a liquid is a fast process. True. Then we have freezing. During freezing, the temperature continues to fall. That is false. Then when a boiling of a liquid starts, the temperature remains constant. When liquid is boiled, it is true. Then what is melting? Change of solid into liquid. What is sublimation? Change of solid directly into gas without involving liquid phase. Then we have liquefaction. On cooling, the gas molecule they come closer to each other under high pressure, and the intermolecular forces they become stronger between the gas molecules. Therefore, the gas get liquefied. Then boiling, on heating a liquid, the intermolecular forces they start breaking up, and liquid molecules they when they get energized they change into vapors, and the vapor pressure of the surface molecule when becomes equal to atmospheric pressure, then liquid starts boiling. Then we have, what do you understand by interconversion of different states of matter? How are these changes brought about? The process is by changing the temperature, by changing the pressure, we can change the state of the matter. For example, we take water. If we take solid water, ice, and we start heating it, the intermolecular forces will break and it will change into liquid. Still we are heating, again intermolecular force, whatever left they will also break and it will change into the gaseous state. So by changing the temperature, now coming in the opposite direction, if we are having a gas, then we apply more pressure on the gas molecules so that they are allowed to come to close to each other, and the intermolecular forces they become stronger, the gas changes into liquid. And if you apply further pressure and decrease the temperature, that will change into solid. So this is the interconversion by changing the thermodynamic parameters, temperature in going from solid to liquid, liquid to gas, and pressure from liquid to from gas to liquid, liquid to solid. So this is all about our first unit, that is matter in our surroundings. Tomorrow we'll take the second unit, that will be matter in the pure form, matter around us is pure, that will be discussed. Thank you very much.